Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to the Explainer. Now, if you're thinking buying a fire truck is just about checking a price tag, well, think again. Today, we're taking on a high-stakes strategic briefing designed specifically for international procurement managers, municipal departments, and emergency response strategists. Selecting a strategic partner in the emergency vehicle sector, it's absolutely crucial. You are securing the safety of entire communities and massive industrial sites for decades to come. So we're going to break down the top 10 fire truck manufacturers in China for the upcoming 2026 procurement cycle. We'll be drawing on expert analysis of technical specs, chassis reliability, and the exact procurement criteria you need to know.
Here is our agenda for this explainer. We're going to cover 1. China's high-tech fire trucks. 2. The 3 pillars of reliability. 3. Top manufacturers by specialty. 4. Municipal versus industrial specs. 5. The exact procurement workflow. And finally, 6. Global compliance and support. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. China's high-tech fire trucks. We're looking at a massive paradigm shift here.
It is time to shatter that outdated misconception of cheap manufacturing. Seriously, just throw it out the window. In China's rapidly evolving industrial landscape, fire truck manufacturing has moved way beyond basic assembly lines. We are talking about advanced, high-tech integration now. The modern fleets rolling out of these facilities feature cutting-edge telematics for real-time fleet tracking, incredibly complex high-pressure pumping systems, and specialized chassis engineering that's specifically designed to handle immense weight at very high speeds. It's this perfect balance of high-tech innovation and rugged, long-term durability. Moving right along to Section 2, the 3 pillars of reliability. This is your core foundation. Because the honest truth is, a fire truck is only as reliable as its foundation, and in this industry, there are exactly 3 core pillars that dictate whether a truck is going to survive a harsh decade of service or fail when it's needed most.
And what's really interesting about this slide is how these 3 elements totally dictate the vehicle's lifespan. First up, chassis integration. Top-tier Chinese manufacturers are using highly dependable chassis from brands like Sinotruk, Dongfeng, or Isuzu. But it's the integration between the subframe and the chassis that truly matters. It dictates the vehicle's center of gravity and maneuverability during a crazy high-speed emergency response. Second is pump and monitor performance. You absolutely need high-quality pumps like the CB10/60 series to maintain consistent flow rates during those grueling multi-hour operations. Finally, superstructure material. The industry is heavily shifting toward aluminum alloy or high-strength polypropylene (PP) tanks. Why? Because fighting corrosion is literally just as important as fighting fires if you want to actually achieve that 15-plus-year vehicle lifespan.
Section 3. Top manufacturers by specialty. Instead of just a list, we're looking at their strategic superpowers. We begin with the high-rise heavyweights. These are the absolute giants of aerial platforms and hydraulic booms. They're engineered specifically to reach towering heights of 60 to over 100 meters. To put that into perspective, that is roughly a 30-story building, and they do this right in the middle of dense urban environments. In this category, 2 names completely dominate the board. First, XCMG. As a global giant in construction machinery, their fire division is basically the technical benchmark in Asia. If your municipal project requires extreme high-rise rescue capabilities, XCMG handles those massive heights like nobody else. Then we have Zoomlion. Like XCMG, they leverage deep expertise in hydraulic booms, but their distinct superpower is their rapid deployment speed and incredibly compact footprint. Their climbing platforms are perfectly tailored for dense urban constraints, where the narrow width of a city street literally dictates what kind of equipment you can even bring to the fight.
But what happens when the threat isn't high up in the sky, but highly explosive? That brings us to the industrial and petrochemical specialists. These manufacturers build machines designed to survive extreme heat, handle complex hazardous materials, and fight those incredibly intense factory and oil refinery fires.
Sany Heavy Industry approaches this with a laser focus on intelligent firefighting. They are the absolute go-to for remote-controlled firefighting robots and long-span water tower trucks that can reach deep into complex factory layouts, all without risking human lives. Jietong, on the other hand, relies on sheer, unadulterated power. Focused heavily on the petrochemical sector, they build heavy-duty foam trucks equipped with high-capacity monitors. These things are capable of throwing water or foam over 100 meters, that is the length of a football field, straight into the heart of an oil or gas fire.
Finally, we have the precision, customization, and export experts.
These are the specialists you call in when you have really strict international standards or highly complex niche engineering needs.
Let's break these down real quick. CFE is often considered the national team of Chinese firefighting. They use a massive R&D budget to dominate high-end aviation needs like airport crash tenders meeting global aviation standards. Next, CSC Truck offers extreme customization, letting you mount specialized rescue bodies on a huge diversity of chassis. Morita Sichuan is a joint venture bringing Japanese precision engineering and super-efficient compact designs to the market. Hubei Jiangnan, they're an export powerhouse, highly efficient at fulfilling custom OEM orders for tech like compressed air foam systems. Beijing Tianhe leads in government tenders for complex urban hazmat response. And finally, Dongfeng. Actually, their true advantage is that because they build both the chassis and the superstructure, the synergy is flawless. That heavily simplifies your spare parts procurement down the line.
Section 4, Municipal versus Industrial Specs. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we need to look at when reviewing actual quotes.
When you compare the engineering requirements side by side like this, the differences are just staggering. A nimble municipal fire truck generally needs a tank capacity of around 3,000 to 6,000 liters, pumping 30 to 40 liters per second on a standard 4x2 or 6x4 chassis. But look at the industrial requirements over there. You are jumping to massive 10,000 to 25,000 liter capacities. The pump flow rate nearly triples to up to 100 liters per second. To put that in perspective, that's enough flow to drain an entire backyard swimming pool in just minutes. The monitor range has to exceed 80 meters, requiring heavy-duty 8x4 chassis drives just to support all that massive water weight and the operational recoil.
Often, the real secret is found in the smallest details, like piping materials. For municipal trucks, standard stainless steel or galvanized piping is generally going to be sufficient. But for industrial and petrochemical environments, you absolutely must specify stainless steel 316L. It is a highly corrosion-resistant material. It's a really easily overlooked procurement detail, but if you get it wrong, the cost of chemicals at an industrial site will literally eat through your standard pipes in a fraction of the vehicle's expected lifespan.
Section 5, the procurement workflow. We're going from the factory floor straight to the port.
Buying one of these is a multi-step engineering project. Here is the exact journey. Step 1 is chassis selection. You've got to decide between cost-effective local chassis like Sinotruck, which are highly serviceable in regions like Africa and Southeast Asia, or importing an international chassis like MAN or Mercedes to the Chinese factory. Step 2 is customization of the superstructure, getting the exact layouts for your tools, light towers, and winches. Step 3 is absolutely vital. Inspection. You must conduct a factory acceptance test or FAT. You need to verify that the manufacturer has a dedicated test pool to physically test the pump pressure, monitor throw range, and tank integrity before that truck ever leaves the factory. Finally, Step 4, logistics. These trucks are shipped via RoRo, roll-on roll-off, to prevent crane damage. And you've got to ensure the manufacturer applies an anti-corrosion wax coating to protect that expensive superstructure from the salty sea air during the ocean voyage.
Section 6, Global Compliance and Support. Let's address those lingering doubts with some FAQs.
It's honestly the most critical question we hear all the time. Do Chinese fire trucks actually meet global NFPA, that's the US National Fire Protection Association, or the European EN standards?
So, the crucial point is, the short answer is yes. By default, the base models are built to follow the highly rigorous Chinese national standard, GB 7956. However, top-tier manufacturers like CFE, XCMG, and CSC Truck absolutely have the engineering capability to meet NFPA 1901 or EN 1846 standards. But here's the catch. You have to explicitly specify this required compliance during your initial request for quotation. It literally must be baked into the engineering plans from day one.
Let's rapidly hit the remaining FAQ answers you need to know. What's the lead time? Usually 45 to 90 days, though it'll be a bit longer if you are importing a European chassis. Minimum order quantity? Just 1 unit. Though bulk orders definitely lower your per unit ROO shipping costs. What about the warranty? You typically get a 12-month warranty. And crucially, your chassis service will be handled by your local in-country dealer, like your local Isuzu or Shenyang shop. For the proprietary pumps and superstructure, manufacturers supply comprehensive wear and tear parts kits up front, and they utilize incredibly efficient remote video support to guide your local municipal technicians through any complex repairs.
We have covered a massive amount of ground today, looking at everything from intelligent robotic water towers to the intricacies of 316L stainless steel piping. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought. The global shift in emergency vehicle manufacturing is undeniable. With advanced telematics, world-class custom chassis integration, and rigorous compliance capabilities now becoming the standard, is your city's next line of defense arriving from China? It's a strategic question every single procurement manager needs to be asking themselves right now. Thanks for joining me as we explored this data today. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.